In today's busy world, we often overlook our health and the quiet signals our body sends us. Unexplained tiredness, skin changes, or stubborn aches aren't just random. They could be signs of aging too quickly. But the good news is you don't have to just accept it. By recognizing these signs early, you can take action to slow down the aging process and keep your body feeling younger for longer. So join us as we reveal the 10 early warning signs that your body is aging too fast and, more importantly, how you can stop it. Number 10, wrinkling and sagging skin. Sometimes our skin starts aging faster than it should, and it can catch us off guard. The good news is that your body will give you some warning signs. You might think these signs only show up when you hit your 60s or 70s, but believe it or not, they can start as early as your 30s. Things like your genes, how much time you've spent in the sun without protection, your diet, how well you sleep, and even your stress levels all play a big role. One of the first signs to watch for is those tiny lines that sneak up around your eyes, forehead, and mouth, commonly known as crow's feet or smile lines. These little guys show up because the collagen and elastin start to break down over time. When that happens, your skin doesn't snap back into place like it used to. Another red flag is dull, uneven skin tone. You might notice your skin looking a little tired, maybe a bit rough or blotchy. That's often because of too much sun, pollution, or just not giving your skin the love it deserves. If your skin starts looking less full and more saggy, especially around your jaw or neck, that's a sign too. As we age, we lose some of the fat under our skin that gives it that plump, youthful look. Dryness is another one. If your skin feels rough or flaky more often, or if your pores are starting to look bigger, that's likely because your skin isn't renewing itself as quickly as it used to. All of this might sound a little scary, but don't worry, let us tell you about Sarah. She's 35 and works long hours at a desk job. After a few years of staring at screens, skipping sunscreen, and surviving on little sleep, she started to notice fine lines creeping in around her eyes. Then came the sagging along her jawline. But instead of panicking, Sarah made some simple changes. She started using a good moisturizer with hyaluronic acid, and she added a retinoid cream to her nightly routine to help boost collagen. Most importantly, she began wearing sunscreen every single day. She also worked on getting better sleep and managing her stress levels. And guess what? Her skin started looking brighter, smoother, and just plain healthier. You don't need fancy treatments or expensive products to fight early aging. What you do need is a little consistency and a lot of care. Start by drinking plenty of water. Protect yourself from the sun with a broad-spectrum SPF. Use skincare products that contain ingredients like retinoids, vitamin C, and collagen-boosting moisturizers. Number 9, achy joints and stiffness. One of the biggest signs that your body might be aging too quickly is when those achy joints and stiffness start becoming a regular part of your day. But it's not just from a long day of chores or from overdoing it at the gym. These can be early warning signs that your body is starting to wear out faster than it should. A lot of times, these aches and stiffness are caused by the breakdown of cartilage, which is like the cushion that keeps your bones from rubbing together. When cartilage starts wearing down, bones begin to grind against each other, leading to pain, swelling, and a lack of movement. Some common signs of this happening include difficulty getting out of bed in the morning or feeling stiff after sitting for a while. Even something as simple as climbing stairs or getting in and out of the car can feel like a struggle. If you're noticing this more often, it's a good idea to pay attention. Take Karen, for example. She's 45 and started feeling stiffness in her knees and lower back. At first, she thought it was just from sitting at her desk too long or working hard, but as the months went by, the pain just wouldn't go away. She found it tough to bend down and tie her shoes, and sometimes she even had to cancel plans because her joints hurt too much. After finally going to the doctor, she was told she had early osteoarthritis, a condition where the cartilage breaks down and causes inflammation in the joints. Now, aging is something we can't stop, but we can slow it down. Keeping your joints healthy is all about staying active, especially with exercises that are gentle on your body. Things like swimming, walking, and cycling are perfect for keeping your muscles strong without putting too much pressure on your joints. Staying at a healthy weight is also super important. Less weight means less stress on those joints that carry the load, like your knees and hips. Stretching and even yoga can help keep you flexible and improve how you move too. Another big factor in joint health is eating the right foods. A diet full of omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory foods can really support your joints. You might also want to consider supplements like glucosamine and chondroitin, which help keep that cartilage strong and reduce some of the discomfort. In Karen's case, a combination of physical therapy and changes to her diet really made a difference. Number 8, memory lapses or brain fog. A little forgetfulness now and then is totally normal as we get older. But when these little senior moments start piling up more often than usual, it could be your brain waving a red flag saying, "Hey, something's going on up here." One of the early signs that your body, and more specifically your brain, might be aging a bit too fast is frequent memory lapses. We're not just talking about forgetting where you parked at the grocery store, but things like struggling to remember people's names right after you meet them, or constantly misplacing your keys, phone, or wallet. When these slip-ups become regular visitors in your day-to-day life, they might be more than just harmless forgetfulness. Then there's brain fog. You know that cloudy feeling where your thoughts feel like they're moving through molasses? Like it's hard to focus, even on simple stuff like following a conversation or writing out a grocery list. It's more than just being a little tired. It can feel like your brain's been unplugged. And when thinking starts feeling like hard work, that's something to pay attention to. So what's behind all this mental fuzziness? One big culprit is stress, never-ending stress. When we're stressed out, our body pumps out a hormone called cortisol. A little of it is okay, but too much for too long. It can mess with your memory and focus. And it can make you feel anxious and even more mentally foggy. Poor sleep is another troublemaker. As we age, our sleep patterns naturally shift. But if you're not getting that deep, restorative sleep, your brain doesn't get the downtime it needs to clean up and organize memories. Over time, this lack of quality sleep can chip away at your cognitive sharpness. What you eat plays a big role too. A diet loaded with processed foods and sugar might taste good at the moment, but it creates inflammation in the body. And if your diet's missing out on important nutrients like omega-3 and antioxidants, your brain's not getting the fuel it needs to stay in top shape. Take Sarah, for example. She's a 56-year-old lawyer who found herself forgetting names at work and blanking during meetings. At first, she thought it was just work stress, and she was partly right. After a little digging, she realized her high-stress job, poor sleep habits, and not-so-great diet were all taking a toll on her brain. So she started practicing meditation to relax, cleaned up her sleep routine, and added more veggies, fish, and healthy fats to her meals. Slowly but surely, the fog started lifting. The good news is you can do the same. Getting regular exercise, managing stress with things like deep breathing or yoga, and making sure you're sleeping well can make a world of difference. Number 7, weight gain around the midsection. One of the most common signs that your body might be aging a little too fast is weight gain, particularly around your midsection. This isn't just about indulging in extra snacks. It's often a mix of things like changes in hormones, a slower metabolism, and lifestyle habits that gradually catch up with you. The result is that stubborn belly fat that just won't budge, no matter how much you work out or try to eat healthy. As we get older, especially after 30, our bodies start to make less of those hormones like estrogen or testosterone. These hormones are responsible for how fat gets stored in our bodies, so when they drop, things can shift. You might notice that your tummy is feeling a little flabbier than usual, and your jeans don't zip up quite the way they used to. That's because with these hormonal changes, fat starts collecting more around the abdomen area. Now, another thing that happens as we age is that our metabolism slows down. This means we burn fewer calories even when we're just sitting still, and that can lead to a slow but steady weight gain, especially around the belly. Plus, as we get older, we naturally lose some muscle mass. And you know what that means? Less muscle means our bodies aren't as efficient at burning fat anymore. So it hangs around a bit longer. If you're not getting enough sleep, it's like throwing gasoline on the fire. When we skimp on sleep, our bodies produce more of a stress hormone called cortisol. And guess where that cortisol loves to store fat? Right around your middle. On top of that, if you're stressed out all the time, your body can crave those quick comfort foods like sugary snacks or emotional eating, which don't do us any favors when it comes to keeping our waistlines in check. Take Sarah, for example. She's 42 and, like many of us, she was always active and careful about what she ate. But out of nowhere, she started noticing weight creeping up around her midsection, even though she hadn't changed much about her routine. After a visit to her doctor, Sarah learned that the weight gain was probably tied to hormonal shifts and the stress from her busy job. Plus, she wasn't getting enough sleep. After she made a few changes, like aiming for 7 to 9 hours of sleep and cutting back on processed foods, she felt a lot better. Sarah also started focusing more on strength training to build muscle, and she learned how to manage stress with activities like yoga and meditation. Those changes helped her feel more in control, and slowly but surely, that stubborn belly fat started to fade. Number 6, poor wound healing. If you've noticed that a simple scrape or bruise now seems to take forever to heal, it might be a sign that your body is aging a bit faster than you'd like. It's not just the getting older part. Slower healing can be an early clue that something else might be going on in your body, like nutritional deficiencies, chronic health problems, or the natural decline in skin and tissue regeneration as we age. One of the first signs of slower healing is that your skin might start looking a little thinner or more fragile than it used to. That's because as we get older, our body's production of collagen, a protein that helps with tissue repair, slows down. Collagen is like the body's natural repairman, and when it's not working as well, your skin has a harder time bouncing back from injury. You might even notice that when you get a small wound, it stays swollen, red, or sore longer than it used to. Take Linda, for example. At 58, she had a minor fall that resulted in a small cut on her leg. In the past, a cut like that would have healed in no time, but this time it just didn't. It stayed swollen for weeks, and the skin around the wound began to change color. Even though there was no injury left, Linda still felt pain. Concerned, she went to her doctor, who suggested some changes to her diet and lifestyle. Her doctor recommended that she increase her protein intake and keep an eye on her blood sugar levels. After following this advice, she noticed a significant improvement in how quickly her leg wound healed. This slower healing can sometimes be a sign of other health issues, like diabetes, poor circulation, or a weakened immune system. For instance, if you have diabetes, it can make it harder for your blood to flow properly, and that slows down the healing process. It can also make you more susceptible to infections. Even your diet could play a role. If you aren't getting enough vitamin C or zinc, which are super important for collagen production, your wounds might take longer to heal. How do you keep your body from aging too quickly in this way? It starts with making sure you're living a healthy, balanced life. Eat foods that are packed with vitamins, minerals, and protein, drink plenty of water, and avoid smoking, which can make healing even slower. Getting regular exercise is also key because it improves circulation and helps your body stay strong. Don't forget to manage stress too, since stress can negatively impact your health over time. Number 5, constant fatigue. If you're constantly drained, even after a full night's sleep, it could be a sign that your body's aging faster than it should. Now, we all get a little tired from time to time, but if it's happening day after day, something might be off. You might find that even simple tasks like walking up a few stairs or doing a little housework leave you feeling wiped out. Or maybe your memory's not quite what it used to be, or your skin's a little drier than before. Things like joint pain, especially in the morning, or digestive issues like bloating or slower metabolism can also sneak up on you. Aging is a part of life, but these signs can actually show up much earlier, sometimes in your 30s or 40s. If your body's been under constant stress, dealing with inflammation, or overloaded with bad food and toxins from the environment, it could speed things up. When that happens, your cells take a beating, and those tiny little powerhouses inside your cells called mitochondria, the ones responsible for giving you energy, start to slow down. This means less energy for you and, unfortunately, a faster aging process. Take Mark, for example. He's 42 and works at an office job. A year ago, he was full of energy, but recently he found himself needing more coffee just to get through the day. His knees ache after a short walk, and he couldn't even remember where he put his keys. His doctor said everything was fine, but Mark knew something wasn't right. So he did what we all do when something's off. He researched. Mark decided to make some changes. He started by cleaning up his diet, goodbye sugar and processed foods, hello leafy greens, omega-3 rich fish, berries and nuts. He added a simple 20-minute walk in nature every day, started taking magnesium and vitamin D, and made sleep a priority by cutting down on screen time before bed. Mark also tried intermittent fasting, which helped his body clear out old, damaged cells. Fast forward 3 months, and Mark felt like a brand new person. His energy came back, his joints stopped hurting, and he even lost 15 pounds. His friends even told him he looked younger. What he thought was just normal aging turned out to be a result of his lifestyle choices, speeding up the aging process. So if you're feeling that constant fatigue, what you can do to slow down the aging process include eating anti-inflammatory foods, exercising moderately, get plenty of sleep, stay hydrated, cut back on alcohol, sugar, and smoking, manage stress. Number 4, digestive issues and bloating. One of the first clues that your digestive system is having a tough time is frequent bloating. If you've been noticing that your stomach seems puffier than usual or that you're constantly feeling stuffed, this could be because your digestive system is slowing down. As we age, our bodies don't process food as quickly or as efficiently as they once did, leading to gas building up and making us feel bloated. Then there's constipation, which can become a real issue as our digestive tract's muscles don't move as easily. This means food takes its sweet time moving through, leading to harder stools and fewer trips to the bathroom. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. This is something that tends to crop up as we get older. Indigestion and acid reflux can also become more common as the years go by. What's happening here is that the stomach produces less acid, which makes it harder for the body to break down food. When that food doesn't get digested properly, it can cause acid reflux, where stomach acid moves back into the esophagus, creating a burning sensation and a whole lot of discomfort. Take Jane, for example. Jane's 52 and has always been in pretty good shape, but this past year she started feeling bloated after eating, getting heartburn a lot more often, and just generally feeling sluggish. She thought, hey, this is just what happens when you get older, right? But as the symptoms kept going, it started affecting her daily routine. Finally, she went to see her doctor, who explained that her digestive system was having trouble because her stomach acid was lower and her metabolism was slowing down. Jane realized that aging wasn't just causing these issues. They were a sign that things were moving along faster than she expected. So, what can we do about it? Well, the good news is there are some easy fixes. First, make sure you're eating a balanced diet. Focus on fiber-rich foods, fruits, veggies, and whole grains to keep things running smoothly. Drink plenty of water because dehydration can make constipation worse. Staying active is another key player. Regular exercise helps get everything moving in your digestive system. And here's a tip. Try eating smaller meals throughout the day instead of big ones. This can take the pressure off your stomach and make digestion easier. If you're still having trouble or these symptoms are sticking around, it's a good idea to chat with your doctor. They might be able to spot something like hormonal changes or a problem with your gut bacteria and give you some personalized advice. Number 3, low libido or sexual dysfunction. One of the early signs that your body might be aging faster than it should is a drop in your interest in sex or trouble with performance. Now, we're not just talking about the occasional "not tonight" moment. We're talking about a noticeable change in how you feel overall. If your spark seems to be flickering out, it might be your body waving a little red flag. Sexual health isn't just about what happens in the bedroom. It's closely tied to your overall health. If your energy feels low, your mood is off, or you've been feeling more blah than usual, your body might be trying to tell you something. These changes often start small, like feeling more tired than usual or not feeling in the mood as often. But if they stick around, they could point to a bigger issue. As we age, our bodies naturally slow down hormone production, especially testosterone in men and estrogen in women. These hormones play a big role in keeping your sex drive and physical function running smoothly. When they dip too low, you might feel like your mojo has left the building. Add to that daily stress, restless nights, or feeling down in the dumps, and it's no wonder things get out of whack. Stress in particular raises cortisol levels, which can mess with your hormones even more, throwing your system off balance. Take Janet, for example, a 45-year-old woman juggling a busy job and a family. She noticed her desire for intimacy was fading. At first, she thought it was just stress or being worn out from her daily routine. But as time went on, she felt more disconnected from her partner and more exhausted than ever. After a visit to her doctor, she found out her estrogen levels had dropped, which was a major part of the problem. Add in poor sleep and high stress, and it was the perfect storm for sexual dysfunction. Once Janet knew what was going on, she got to work. She started practicing mindfulness, added a little yoga and meditation to her day, and focused on winding down at night to get better sleep. That alone helped her feel more rested and energetic. She also worked with her doctor and began hormone replacement therapy to help bring her levels back into balance. Slowly but surely, Janet's energy and desire returned. So what can you do if you feel like you're in the same boat? Start by listening to your body. Eat a healthy, colorful diet packed with nutrients. Get regular exercise to keep your blood flowing and your heart strong. Try to cut back on stress and don't forget to sleep. Aim for a solid 7 to 9 hours a night so your body has time to recharge. Number 2, frequent illness or slower recovery. One of the first signs of changes in body illness might be catching colds or the flu more often than before, or finding that it takes longer to bounce back after being sick. This is usually because our immune system weakens with age, making us more vulnerable to bugs and illnesses. You might notice that the recovery time from everyday colds, minor injuries, or even just feeling run down takes much longer than it used to. This slow recovery can happen because our body's ability to repair itself, like the cells that heal tissues, starts to slow down. Another sign that your body is aging faster than normal is when you start feeling more tired after doing things that used to be easy. And if you're dealing with joint pain or muscle soreness that seems to last longer than it used to, that could also be a red flag. You might even notice bruises or bumps taking forever to heal. That's all a sign that your muscles and bones might be losing strength and density quicker than they should be. Your skin, too, can be one of the first places to show signs of this. If you start noticing more wrinkles, sagging, or just dry skin, it could be a sign that you're collagen and elastin. Take Angie, for example. In her early 40s, she started getting sick more often. It used to be just once a year, but now she'd catch a cold every few months. Her energy levels also took a dive. A day that used to be full of running errands and staying busy now left her exhausted halfway through. To make things worse, Angie noticed her joints were aching more, and her sleep wasn't as restful as it used to be. After all these changes, Sarah went to her doctor and learned that her body wasn't recovering as quickly as it used to because of the early signs of aging. Her doctor explained that things like getting sick more often, feeling drained, and having trouble with recovery can be linked to lifestyle habits and overall health. Angie's doctor suggested a few changes: eating a nutrient-packed diet, exercising regularly, managing stress, and getting better sleep. Angie took this advice to heart. She started adding light exercises into her routine, swapped out some foods for more fruits and veggies, and began practicing yoga to help manage stress. Little by little, Angie started feeling more energetic and noticed her body was bouncing back quicker than before. The point here is that if we can make some simple changes, like eating better, staying active, and taking time for relaxation, we can slow down the aging process and keep our bodies working at their best. Number 1, brittle nails and thinning hair. If your nails are starting to crack, split, or peel, and your hair is thinning out faster than you'd like, this could be a red flag that your body is aging a bit faster than it should be. Don't panic. This doesn't mean you're getting old overnight, but it might mean your body is trying to tell you something. Brittle nails that are always breaking or peeling might be a sign that you're not getting enough of important nutrients like biotin, iron, or essential fatty acids. It could also point to poor blood flow or even hormone imbalances. As for thinning hair, especially around the top or the sides, this could be tied to low collagen levels, high stress hormones, thyroid problems, or a lack of nutrients like zinc and vitamin D. Both these issues, brittle nails and thinning hair, are also linked to something called oxidative stress. This happens when free radicals, which are unstable molecules, damage your cells faster than your body can fix them. It speeds up the aging process and can weaken your hair and nails too. Let's take Maya, for example. She's 35, works as a graphic designer, and one day she started noticing something worrying. Every time she washed her hair, she found clumps of it in the drain. Her nails, once strong and healthy, were now constantly chipping and peeling. She thought it was just work stress catching up with her, but soon other signs started popping up, like constant tiredness and dull, lifeless skin. That's when she knew something more was going on. After seeing a functional medicine doctor, Maya found out she had low thyroid levels, a few vitamin deficiencies, and a bunch of oxidative stress happening in her body. Basically, her cells were aging faster than they should have been. But here's the good news. Maya didn't just sit back and accept it. She took charge and turned things around. She switched to a nutrient-rich, anti-inflammatory diet filled with leafy greens, omega-3, berries, and bone broth to support collagen production. She cut down on sugar, started sleeping better, and even added supplements like biotin, zinc, and calming herbs like ashwagandha. Within just a few months, Maya saw some amazing changes. Her nails grew stronger, her hair stopped falling out, and her energy came back. So what can you do to slow down premature aging? First off, you need to feed your body the right foods, things that help repair your cells and keep you feeling strong. Pay attention to your stress levels. Get enough sleep because your body needs time to repair itself. Make sure your thyroid and hormones are in balance, and don't be afraid to add supplements when needed. What are your thoughts about these early signs that your body might be aging too quickly? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below.